Hello friends, I am Neeraj Sharma, Assistant Professor, Computer Science Department, St. Wilfrid College. I welcome you in St. Wilfrid online classes. We are going to discuss about the topic Introduction to PHP. What is PHP? First of all, we have to be clear about all the languages. What is language basically? Language means we are having some kind of communication medium, so by which we can communicate with one device to another device, or one computer to another computer. So let's discuss about the languages. So we have the languages with the different type of languages like procedure languages, object oriented languages, as we discussed before also, that procedure languages is the language which is used for which is used for continuing the make up the building the functions, and so many kind of functions we can build up in particular procedure languages. So C, COBOL, Pascal, Fortran, these are the languages which we are using in the procedure languages. In object oriented languages we use like C, C++, Java, .NET. So first of all we should know about the about the object oriented languages also. So object oriented languages is based on the class and object. So what is class and what is object, we have to be know about each and every concept about it. So let's discuss about it is another type of object oriented languages which is called PHP. PHP is basically called the web applications also. We can create a dynamic web applications by using of the PHP. So friends, first of all we should clear about it that we have two kind of websites. First is static and second is dynamic websites. So static website is what basically static website means when we are using only particular we are just having the some specific content or text that is not used changes dynamically every day or maybe on the regular basis. So on that time we use the static websites. So every kind of website, every kind of web page we are creating in like static. So we use that language HTML for it. So HTML is the language which is created the web pages for a static website. So HTML is hypertext markup language. We have lot of tags in HTML. For example, I have to first create the HTML tag. HTML is the basic tag which is using for creating a web page for HTML. So first of all, as we discuss that we have a lot of websites in market it is a collection of web pages. So many web pages are making a particular websites. So how we can create a web page? So basically what is the part of web page? Web pages has two or three kind of things we have. So first of all we should know that a web page have the user interface. User interface means a person or a client when it will be interact with the particular user or interact with the particular server. So we have to create the user interface for it. So user interface will be provide the some kind of interaction between user and machine. So if a user want to send a request by user interface to the server, so on that time we have to be discuss about the UI part. So UI is the part of PHP also. So PHP have this first part UI, second is web server. So web server is what actually web server is the location, or it is a server where we can execute the program, or we can say that all the requested will be directly sent to the particular web server. So in market we have a lot of web servers like IIS web server is there, Apache's web server is there. So many web server is there here. So without web server we cannot create a dynamic web page for PHP page. So how we can execute a PHP page? So we have to be web server on that particular location on that time. So we have to be install it, the web server. So now we are discussing the third type of server. It is called application server. So application server is what it is a database server. We can say that database can be accessed or database can be saved into particular application server. Means whenever the web server will be execute the application, or it will be send the request furtherly, then on that time the database have to be handle it all the request. So database server is using for execute the queries or these kind of thing, and have to be send the response to the particular UI. So on that time we have to be create the database server. So database server is executed by the application server. So we need to be clear all the concept that why we are using the web server, why we are using the application server. First of all, we should clear about the dynamic websites. Dynamic website is always when we using, then we want to be execute some kind of regular basis queries or regular basis interaction with the web page. So on that time I have to be create the dynamic websites. It means dynamic website means if I want to send the content from client side to server side, so I have to be clear about it, that what type of content I need require dynamically change on the regular basis, on the on the daily basis. So on that time I have to be clear that this is called the dynamic website. In static website we doesn't change the content. We have the content change, but in after a long time we need to be change it. So in case of dynamic we don't need to be change. We need to be change every day on the regular basis or daily basis. So personal home page or PHP language, basically initially its name of the PHP personal home page when we created it. So personal home page was the name initially when we introduced the PHP in the market. So PHP is the language which we create the dynamic web pages or dynamic websites to the particular application or to particular client when we are created it. Then is it's how we can say that when it is created in 1994 by Rasmus Ledroff, so who was the inventor of the PHP language. So we can say that PHP is a server-side scripting language. So first of all we should clear about the server-side scripting language. What is server-side scripting language? So as we know that HTML pages work on front-end part. So HTML is just send the request to particular client to the particular web server. So on that time web server have to be handle all the things, right? So first of all HTML is only used for send the request to particular web server. So on web server we have to be this language, server side scripting language. Whenever we execute the page, dynamic web page, on that time we have to be execute the server side scripting language. So server side scripting language, we have the totally 3 words here. Server side scripting language means which the language or the part or the program which we are going to be execute on particular server. For example, we have the JavaScript, we have the VB script, we have the Python and Python scripting language. So these kind of language we can execute on particular server side. So this is the language we cannot run onto the particular client. Client will be send only the request to the particular web server, and web server will be execute the server side scripting language. So server side scripting language already built up by the particular particular language. So these languages have the APIs, application programming interface. So what is APIs? So we should clear about the APIs. API is nothing, it is a like a class or maybe like a methods or functions which should be execute on particular time when we required it to particular location, when execute the server programs, or maybe some server will be execute the some kind of language we are using for execute the scripting language. So for scripting language we have to be write the particular tag script and then close the tag script. Okay, so on this, in between this script tag we have to be write the body part. So the all body part or the all logical part, functionality part will be execute in particular these tags. So this is called scripting language. So all the scripting language use this script particular script tag. So should be clear that PHP is a server-side scripting language. It is not execute on particular client side. So we should clear about it that what is client and what is server. So client is the user where we want to execute the web page, but the user doesn't have the program and it will be only run on particular web browser. So this is called the client. And on the server side, we have the program which is already built up program, or maybe user will be build up these programs and it will be execute these programs onto particular server, and that server will be responsive to particular client. So this is called the PHP, which we are using to the server side scripting language. So third point is it is powerful tool for making dynamic website. As we discussed earlier that dynamic website is having some kind of HTML part and as well as some scripting language part. As well we have the XML part also, which is called the extensible markup language, so which is user defined language. So these all parts are making the dynamic website. Okay, so in dynamic website, when we create a dynamic website or build up a dynamic website, we have to be take this language PHP, personal homepage, or pre-hypertext processor language. Next point is it is a language for creating the interactive website. So first of all, we should clear about the interactive word. What is interactive? Interactive means attractive, means whenever we required or we need particular website home page to a specific page, or maybe as per the customization or requirement of the user. So on that time I have to be clear that what kind of page I am using it. So interactive means whenever customization is there, or maybe a user is taking the requirement as per the client and we are creating the web page as per the client's requirement, then interactive web page or websites will be clear or make it. So it should be clear that why we are using the PHP. I think it should be clear. Okay, so next point we are going to be discuss about the servers, web servers, client server architecture, and these kind of concept we must be use it. Okay friends, now we are going to discuss about the client server architecture, because client server architecture is very important part which is required to build up the application in PHP, and after that we will be execute the web page on particular web server, maybe IIS web server or maybe Apache's web server. So we should clear about the client and server architecture. So how a client can be send the request. So first of all, we should clear about the what is client. Client is an entity which is going to send the request to a particular web page or web server. Okay, and that web server can be IIS web server or Apache's web server. And this web server is also having the some specific type of task or having some kind of services which is already built up. Like for example, we have the XML services there, right? So we have the SOAP is the service oriented architecture protocol services there. Okay, so these all services also will be included into the web server, and this web server will be execute the server programming also, server side scripting programming also, which I discussed earlier. And then we send this request to the particular application server. Okay, so this application server will be execute the query, and we have the database inside with this application server. So this is the basic architecture which we are following to the particular location, to the client, to the server. So I think it should be clear, or maybe I can repeat once more, that client will be send the request to a particular web server, and web server is having its own web services, or maybe we have to be install it. First of all, we have to be install the web server, install web server. But friends, we should take care about it, because when we install the web server, on that time I have to take care about that what kind of web server I need or required, because all the web server which we have with the different platforms, like Windows we have. So for Windows we have to be take the web server WAMP, which is called WAMP. And if I am using the Linux web server, then I have to take the XAMPP server is there, right? So I have to take so many precautions or take care that I'm running the program on to particular location on the window, or maybe on Linux, or maybe on Macintosh, or these kind of. So we have the different kind or different flavors of the web servers. So I have to take care that what kind of scripting I have, or I already clear that what kind of what kind of language I am using. According to that I have to be install the web server. So this should be clear to the user that we are using the WAMP or XAMPP, because XAMPP have its own different services and WAMP its have own different services. Okay, so I have to take care about the bits also. If I am using the 32-bit machine, so I have to install the WAMP server of 32-bit. If I have the 64-bit, then I have to be install the web server with the supported of 64-bit. So it should be take care about that web server. Without web server we cannot execute the web page or PHP page onto the browser. So as in HTML, in HTML, as we know that HTML page is directly run up onto particular web server, but these PHP pages will be not executed directly. So we have to be installed first of all web server, and then web server will be execute the services. All the services will be include like XML services, extensible markup services, service oriented architecture services, or maybe so many services is there. Okay, so these services will be execute the scripting, and after that application server will be executed. And after application server will be execute the query, then response will be sent to particular web server also. Okay, so these web server again will be execute these services to particular client. So it may be possible that client should be maybe more than one client, maybe more than more than one web server, so more than one application server. So it can be distributed applications also. So we have to be take care about that we are using the PHP for web application as well as distributed applications. So these are the concept which we have to be study about it. So let's start with the another point. This is the client server architecture. Okay friends, now we have to be discuss about how the PHP files can be execute or run to the web server. So first of all we should clear about it that what kind of contents we have in the particular PHP files. Like we have the text content, we have the HTML text also there, and we have the scripting part. So these are the basically three parts which we are included into particular PHP files. So whenever the PHP files will be execute on particular web server, so on that particular web server we have to be clear about it that what kind of web browser we are using to particular web server. For example, we are using the Firefox. So on that time in Firefox we have the different contents in like content will be same, but maybe some interface issue can be there. So we have to be handled whenever we write the program or scripting to particular PHP page. So we have to take care about it. Okay, so we can contain the text, HTML tag, and scripting language. So PHP file can be executed on web browser also. So we should take care about the web browser, that what kind of web browser we are using, because web browser we have to take care because of like we have several web browsers, so many web browser is there. Whenever we will like save the file, PHP file will be saved with the extension of .php, with the extension of .php. What does it mean? It means कि whenever we will save the file on particular location, on particular on particular drive, so on that time I have to take care about the .php extension. If we don't have the .php extension, this file will be not PHP file. It will be like a simple text file or HTML file. So as we know about that HTML, that whenever we use the HTML tags in particular location or to the particular HTML file, on that time I have to save the .html with the extension when we save the file. Okay, so PHP can run on particular different platforms. As I told you that PHP page can be run on different platform This platform can be Windows, can be Linux, can be Unix, can be Macintosh. So different flavor we have on particular PHP part. So we have to take care about it, what kind of PHP file we are creating for Windows also, for Linux also, because the same PHP file will be, you know, like will treat or will be action, different action will be there as per according to the platform. So we can say that this is the basic concept of PHP. We can you know, like when we run the program in PHP, I have to take care about the, you know, like server also, web server also. So as we discussed that Apache's web server is there and IIS web server is there. So Apache have the web server like WAMP. WAMP server is there. So what is WAMP server? Basically WAMP server is basically work on MySQL. We can say that this is you know, like when we use the WAMP server, then we have to be install it. So how we can install the WAMP server? So we have the website www.wampserver.com. So this is the URL of particular website where we can download the WAMP server, and we can free download the WAMP server. And after that we have to take care once more thing, as I told you that about the bit of machines, that 32-bit or 64-bit, we should take care about it. So WAMP server is the basic server of Windows where we can run the our PHP pages, and this is the same as XAMPP server also. So XAMPP server is using for Linux part, so Linux is using on XAMPP server. So I think you should clear about all the things, client server architecture, how to install it, how to, you know, like how to install the, you know, web servers, and these all parts should be clear on the particular things. Okay, so now let's discuss about the PHP syntaxes. Okay friends, now we will discuss about the PHP basic syntax. What is the basic syntax of PHP when we create the PHP file and execute the PHP file on particular web browser? So PHP file basically contain the HTML code first of all. So we should clear about it that in each or every PHP file we will have the HTML code include it. Okay, so I think HTML will be clear for more students, because you know, like HTML जो basic language is there when we created the tags, predefined tags, and these languages supported the predefined tags, and we execute these kind of predefined tag on particular web browser. Okay, so these HTML code we will include into the PHP file. And then cascading style sheet. So cascading style sheet is the style which we are using to, you know, like to execute the web page or to particular text or particular image which we want to display on particular home page in a particular style. So on that time we will use the CSS, cascading style sheet. It's a different part, so we have to take care about the style tag is there. So style tag will be there, and we have to write all the styles will be into particular style tag. Okay, so cascading style sheet is another part of the PHP file. So third point is JavaScript or maybe VB script may be there, but VB script we are using very less because we are not creating the particular part on .NET. So we are using only the JavaScript, because JavaScript is, you know, like a very independent language, and JavaScript can be used anywhere. So it's a platform independent. So we can say that JavaScript also can be include particular PHP files. And after that we can just discuss about the code in PHP, how we can start the code in PHP. So whenever we will start the PHP code, we have to give the syntax like tag sign and question mark sign. After that we have to write the keyword PHP and then close the tag. So this is the basic syntax where we can identify that where we are started the particular language or where we are started the particular PHP code from PHP file. And then we can say that these three basic concept which we will be identify or which will be include into particular PHP file. Then we can say that PHP script can be used by number of time PHP file. Okay, so PHP script is the basically we use for functionality part, for action part. Whenever we use some action or functionality or providing some, you know, like some operations to particular file, so on that time we have to be write the PHP file with the particular PHP scripts. So PHP script can be used by number of time PHP files. So it is not compulsory that we only use only once time or two time or three time. It is not specific that only 2 or 3 times I use it. Okay, so number of times we can use the particular PHP script. Okay friends, now discuss about the PHP variables. As I told you that we have lot of things in PHP files, so PHP variables also the part of you know, like PHP files, so we have to be included. So first of all we should clear about that why we are using the variables. What is variables? Variables is nothing, it's a like of store the value. We can store the value in particular memory location, into particular memory location. So on that time variables will be used. Okay, so variable can be changed the value duration the program. It's not the fixed value, it's not the constant value is there. Okay, so variable are stored to a particular PHP files. So we can say that when we are using the particular store the content or constant value, store the constant value or any type of value we can store in particular variable. Okay, so this is the concept which we are using in the PHP variables. Now we can say that when we include the particular part of you know, like constant or define the constant in variable, we have to be declare the data type of these variables also. So we should clear about the data types also, that what kind of data types we are using. As other languages we have primitive and non-primitive data type, so we have the same here in PHP also. We have the two type of data types, PHP primitive data type and non-primitive data type. So primitive data type is a predefined data type which is provided by the you know, like language. So we can say that if we have the string, integer, float, long, for example we have the integer value or float value or long value or double value. So these all data types we include into the primitive data type. Okay, so if we are using the array declaration, the array or particular string, or maybe string is the primitive, but we can say that if we are using the array or class inside to the particular PHP file, on that time we can say that we are using the PHP you know, like data type with the inbuilt also with the user defined also. So it is a user defined data type which we are using it. So we have the one example also which we can include in the particular PHP part. For example, I just want to include the PHP file. So first of all I have to write the PHP syntax. Okay, so on that time, after that PHP syntax is started, so we don't need to be define the tag again and again. So I am using the variable text variable and store any value. For example, I am storing a particular string computer. This is the string which we are using to for particular variable which is called text variable. Okay, and then another variable is there. So we are storing this value, integer value, on particular this variable, like x is there, right? So if I am using this code for PHP, then I have to save this file, particular file, PHP file, with the extension .php extension. For example, I am taking demo.php. So this PHP extension I can use it, and this program will be include into the HTML part, HTML code, and these HTML page will be include all the code of PHP. And when I will be execute this part onto particular URL with the web browser, then it will be execute the PHP page with web server. So I have to install the web server first of all, and then after that the PHP page will be executed. Okay, so friends, variable also have some conventions or some rules. We can discuss about it, that what kind of convention or what kind of rules which we are using to particular variables. So variable name, like must start with the, with the alphabet, not with the any or other value. So